Hello and welcome to a very early edition of Stop and Go F1 qualifying reaction, this time for the Australian Grand Prix. I'm in my pyjamas, I'm tired, I want to go to bed, but I'm ready to go. We are told at the start of the session that there's a 90% chance that rain will hit the track during the session. Let's see how that one goes. Albon was the first to set a lap time, but he was quickly beaten He was quickly beaten on that time because it just wasn't a quick one. But Albon was actually very quick all day. He, for me, was the star of qualifying. Every session doing really well. His teammate, less so. On his first fast lap, he spun on the final corner and had to come into the pits and get new tyres. The Red Bull still looking very twitchy. I said this on the preview about how in practice the Red Bull looks twitchy. For Max on his first lap, he's out of the corners. It didn't look too comfortable. It looked even less comfortable for his teammate Sergio Perez, who on his first fast lap, I think it was just a lock-up into turn 3, into the gravel trap, couldn't get the car out. He was out. That brought out a red flag for qualifying there as they cleared up where Sergio was. He will start P20 for tomorrow's race. Now, Perez afterwards was complaining of an issue on the car. He was saying that it sounded to me like he was saying that there was an issue maybe in the practice sessions that he'd been vocal about and it hadn't been fixed. From the replays, to me, it just looked like he just made a mistake. But if there's an issue there, there's an issue. Alonso's first lap time wasn't that great. It was slower than Hulkenberg, Albon and Stroll. Albon would go on to get purple sector 2, which I think he repeated in both Q2 and Q3. The Williams doing very well in that sector. And for the end of Q1, Alonso would go top, but then would be instantly replaced by Verstappen. And the drivers out of Q1 are Piastri, his first ever home race. He is out. Then it was Zhou, Sargent, Bottas, and of course Perez. Logan Sargent going out in Q1 for the third time in his career from his first 3 races. On to Q2, and this is where you start to discover how the tyres are working a little bit different here. How normally they can just go out and they're in that perfect optimum window where they're working fantastically. It seems in Australia that wasn't happening, and drivers were having to put multiple laps in, maybe an out lap, a quick lap, another out lap, then another quick lap. And on that second quick lap, the tyres will be in the perfect condition. Lando had a bit of an explore through the gravel trap, and Lance Stroll, when he was in the pits getting ready to go out for his second fast lap, chose to stay on the used soft rather than the new ones because they seem to be working so much better. Max Verstappen nearly kills a bird, and that was the end of Q2. Out in Q2, it was Ocon in 11th, then it was Yuki, Lando Norris, Kevin Magnussen, who was about 7/10 slower than his teammate here. Then it was Nick de Vries, and we're on to Q3, and now with rain being threatened imminently, everyone was out there very quick, getting very quick lap times. And by the halfway point of Q3, it was Max Verstappen leading. Lewis Hamilton was in second place, only 0.009 behind him. Then it was Alonso, who was 0.041 behind Max. Then Russell, who was 0.86 behind Max. So the top 4 separated by 0.086 at the halfway point of Q3. Now, I think Hulkenberg should receive a penalty because on Hamilton's build-up for his final fast lap, Hulkenberg, some of the most awful blocking I've seen in a very, very, very long time. Now, I know we don't really give out penalties for blocking anymore, but that was bad. So, at the end of Q3, though, it was Hulkenberg in 10th, Gasly 9th, Albon, fantastic job, he put it into 8th, Leclerc 7th, Stroll was in 6th, Sainz beat his teammate and finished in 5th, Alonso will be 4th, then the Mercedes, the car that is useless, the car that is the worst car Mercedes have ever developed in their entire life. It's Hamilton in 3rd, Russell on the front row in 2nd place, and Max Verstappen in 1st. It was a fantastic qualifying session. I really enjoyed it. despite having to wake up at 5:45 in the morning to watch it. I had a lovely time of it. Hopefully the race will be as good too. I'm looking forward to seeing what Sergio Perez can do from the back of the grid. I'm looking forward to seeing Alonso in fourth, right behind those Mercedes. What can he do with those guys there? Can anyone stop Max Verstappen? That's the biggest question, of course. It's building out to be quite an exciting race for tomorrow, so I hope you're excited for it too. I'll, of course, be here tomorrow to discuss everything that went down, so make sure you subscribe. We'll be there tomorrow. Right, I think that's everything. I'm going to click stop recording, and I'm going to go to bed. I hope you have a nap or two. Goodbye.